Welcome back. Having fun for a good cause, that is something that is very hard to complain about. That's exactly what the American Heart Association, though, has planned for next month. With me to talk about all of it is Ansley House of the American Heart Association. Welcome.
Hi.
So February is a particularly important month when talking about heart health. Let's talk about the month of February and really what it's all about.
Absolutely. So February is Heart Month, and it really is just about bringing awareness to heart health and heart disease and stroke in our country, and how we can make those healthy choices and lifestyle changes to ensure that we are, as healthy as possible, and that we are really in that fight against heart disease and stroke.
It's something that, yes, people know exists and that it is prevalent, but really heart conditions are very prevalent in society.
Absolutely. It is the #1 killer among both women and men. About 1 in 3 people struggle with, heart disease, and we have a woman about every 80 seconds that passes away from heart disease. So it really is, a huge issue in our country.
So that is why there's obviously a slew of events all year long, but particularly through the month of February and into March. We want to talk about a couple of those. About a week or so ago, the Heart Ball, a huge success.
Absolutely. We had the Hilton Head Heart Ball, the Southern Coast Heart Ball, about a week ago on February 8th. We had about 300 people support that night of, and it brought in about $245,000. So really a huge success that brought awareness throughout the Coastal Empire.
I mean, how important is that kind of money to this fight?
It is. It funds tons of things, research, and also tons of educational opportunities where we're able to teach hands-only CPR and just a lot of heart health things that are able to really make a difference in our community and save lives daily. That
education is so important because in the work that you guys do at the American Heart Association, is it often that you find that people are undereducated when it comes to this sort of thing?
Absolutely. Oftentimes people don't understand the health risks that they have on a daily basis and don't understand the lifestyle changes that they can make to have a healthier life.
So especially in the month of February, we do the Go Red for Women initiative. And that's coming up in the form of a luncheon here in a couple of weeks, March 12th at the Landings. Let's talk about the luncheon. It's a lot of fun. It's not your traditional fundraiser.
Right. So it starts out with a silent auction and then has lunch. We've got Dr. Hannah from St. Joseph's Candler that's going to be our featured speaker for the day. And then it'll finish up with a really fun fashion show. We've partnered with Macy's and Kendra Scott and Hello Gorgeous to bring that fashion show to life. So we're super excited about that. Ben and Tina from here at WSAV are going to be our MCs for the event. And are also going to model for us. So it'll be a really, really fun event that brings the community together and has a lot of, our community leaders that are featured as our models in the event.
How important is it that we focus especially on women's heart health?
Absolutely. Like I said, it is a huge issue for women in our country, and I think oftentimes we don't always think about that, and we don't realize that those statistics exist, that, every minute and a half a woman is dying from heart disease. So it really is just bringing that awareness to light that it is a problem for both men and women, and that we should really look at the differences in those and, acknowledge that a heart attack would feel different for a woman than it would for a man, and really talk about the symptoms and what we can do to prevent that.
Can people still find a way to get out there to the luncheon?
Absolutely. SavannahGoesRed.heart.org is where our tickets and information are on there. So tickets can be purchased online, or you can reach out to the email address on the website.
There it is on your screen right there. Ansley, thank you so much for coming today. We appreciate it.
Great, thank you.
The luncheon, you just saw it there, March 12th. We'll have everything up for you here in just a little bit at WSAV.com. Stay with us. We'll be right back with a final check of your forecast.